One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. So let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. One day I'm gonna be free. We're standing at the crossroads, feeling like a lost soul. Don't know where I wanna go, but all I know is I wanna be free. They're telling me to let it be, but that just ain't in me, no. Jealousy and envy, but all I see is I wanna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Don't let it get the most of me. Eventually, I'm gonna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. Let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I told them take their aim off me. Stop trying to get a name off me. If they would just let me be, I'm gonna be free. I told them take them chains off me and throw away the locks and keys. If they would just let me be, eventually I'm gonna be free.
They're back.
What up, though? 7 days and we're back again for another episode of the Dominant Effect. March Bishop, we got Mike Ball, Aaron Olinger. What's up, everybody? Glad y'all tuning
What's
in
up?
for another show. Just like always, before we get into this this action-packed thriller for the day, we're gonna check around and see what everybody done for the week. So we'll start with you, Aaron. What's up with you, brother? How was your week?
Well, this past weekend, I took a CPR class, and I'm telling you, it was a real eye-opening experience. And I didn't realize that while you're waiting on an ambulance, if you can provide CPR or render some sort of aid, it increases the person's chance of survival by 60%. And if you do nothing, then they run a much higher risk of not making it to the hospital. And there were so many other things that I learned, 30 chest compressions to 2 breaths. And I mean, the knowledge I picked up was worth it. I enjoyed it to no end. And I'm looking forward to the next class that I can get into. And I'll stop there.
I love those classes that you're speaking of. I attended a lot of that when I was, out on the waterfront. And we were forced to do a lot of those classes. And I'm glad I did, because I did learn a lot. But it definitely something I should refresh on, because it was definitely not someone doing CPR on me, but someone that, basically got involved and involved himself to save me. And if it weren't for him and his knowledge and what to do and tourniqueting me and all of that, then I would have died too. So that's awesome. That's awesome that you're doing that, man. Real quick, I want to thank Pitbull over there in the UK sending in a couple bucks, saying hope everyone's well and having a great night. Very much appreciate that, kind sir. Yeah, this week has been it's been laid back. It's been somewhat cool. A little bit of personal drama. I have a car that I bought, and there were some things going wrong with it, and then I was like going back and forth with the dealership. Finally, we got that resolved, and the dealership is taking care of it. But you can only imagine trying to get a dealer to like put thousands of dollars into something that you just bought, that they're going to be really resistant. But they worked with me, and so it's just been a long, drawn-out process.
Wow. Did you get it taken care of?
Yes. Brand new engine just got ordered yesterday. So it's going to be put into that car here in like, I don't know, 3-4 days.
Well, that's good. I know when I was working with that, trying to get my truck done, man, it took almost a year to get my truck fixed. Going back and forth.
Unreal.
Having to fuss with the dealership. You know what I mean? They say they fix it, you get it back, it breaks down.
Damn
keep
straight.
Going back. And eventually we had to go to, who do we give to? We had to go to the Attorney General, the Department of Transportation, Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau.
You had a lawyer, I'm guessing, right? I mean,
no.
Oh my God.
No, I did all this. And then we had to send a demand letter, present the demand letter in person, then have one certified to them.
Jeez.
So that way they could sign off on it, saying that they had it.
Oh my God.
Had to go through all of that. And it was only when the Federal Trade Commission jumped into it,
then all of a sudden
everything was fixed.
Gets moving.
So by the end
I'm very lucky that I didn't have to go through something like that. I mean, it's only been, I think, maybe 3 weeks since I bought the car, and then it was kind of right away that I noticed that there was an issue. Took it into, because the problem is not, I didn't buy it from the actual dealer. I had a third party dealer, so I'm dealing with them, dealing with the warranty, and dealing with Toyota at the same time. So you're like doing this 3-way action shit. But luckily, it didn't take that long, you know.
Yeah, it was back and forth. I mean, at the end of it, what was it? $17,000 later, and a year passing, I ended up getting a brand new engine, and a new transmission.
Okay.
So I got new engine and training.
but still, it took you a year. You know, that's insane work.
For a year, and let's see, how many loaners did I have? Five loaner vehicles. It's just, it's
jeez. Well, I'll consider myself lucky, you know, in that aspect then.
Right. But for the week, everything was good. Been working on some stuff. We got a new movie that's coming out. Well, not coming out, it's gonna start. Some of you that's on my Facebook page, you see I put a casting post out. We're casting for a movie called Born Protector. I'm in the movie, but I'm also co-directing this movie.
Oh, that's dope.
So, but it's a really good script. Like I said, I put a casting post out. I think it was last week I put it out. I got it out on my page.
Man, I'll show up
on the Diamond Effect page, but I also put it out on a lot of the it's a lot of groups that's out, you know, a lot of acting groups and stuff like that. Put it out to so we could get the right people for this movie. It's a really good one. It's a really good one, but it's part of a three film deal. So we got this one, then it drops into another one, which drops into another one, like 3 totally different ones. That's going to be done starting in September. So it's going to be a busy time, real busy time. And there's a couple. Actually, there's a couple people that's on here right now. That's actually going to come down here and actually help out with the production of it. Um, so it's I mean, it's been working out. I mean, it's a lot of good stuff that's going on. Um, a lot of doors is opening that wouldn't have normally been there, but they're opening now. So thank God for
Man,
that. But yeah, it's a lot of good stuff going on. And like I said, I'll keep you posted as it goes through. When the premiere does start for standing on business, I am going to let you know, Mike, so you can come down here so we can do that. But then
I'll definitely
also,
be there.
it's a couple other things that I'm gonna end up using you for as well. So,
Right on.
but I'll fill you in on all that. So we're gonna jump into the story. So I wrote this out as a question, and then we're gonna jump into it. So my question is what if I told you that the future of money will not be made in Washington, Wall Street, or the Silicon Valley, but in quiet, it overlaps between AI, cryptocurrency, and this new coalition that's rising up that we all know about called BRICS.
That's right.
So today we're going to dive into this global power shift that most people have been sleeping on. While the West argues about inflation and interest rates, this new financial system is slowly being built, smarter, faster, and well beyond the reach of the US dollar. AI is thinking faster than the central banks. Crypto is becoming the middleman in all of that. And then you have BRICS that's building up its own payment systems. So we're going to talk about all three, and then we're going to talk about what happens when these three forces collide. So
Oh man.
buckle up. So because the future of money is at an end, as far as we know it to be.
Mm,
So we're going to jump. So we're going to jump into this now. But let's start with the money first and why money matters. Okay, because money just isn't cash and coins.
that's
It's
right.
uh, it's the lifeblood of the economy, and it's the backbone of any global power. And for decades, the U.S. dollar has always been the king of all currencies. Dominated trade, finance, even politics. But the ground for that is shifting, and it's shifting pretty quick. So you have AI that's automated and optimizing financial decisions at like lightning speed. You have crypto that's been introduced now, and the way it's been growing, it's been decentralizing the way we think about currency. And then you have the BRIC nations, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with several other
Plus,
nations that we're going to talk about, are pushing hard to create alternatives to a dollar-led system to de-dollarize the U.S. dollar. So, what does that mean for our future dealing with money? So we're gonna go through, and we're gonna start with AI first. And I know Aaron, we was talking about before the show started. He had a big thing dealing with AI, and we're gonna talk about we're gonna bring up AI first as to the reason why it's good in one sense, but it's bad in another sense when we talking about the actual money and the currency that we're going through. So I'm gonna let you start with that, Aaron, and then we're gonna do the AI, then we're gonna jump into crypto, and then we're gonna talk about BRICS, and then we're gonna talk about the big question is what happens when all three of them come together.
yeah.
Okay.
What
Do
happens?
you want me to also go into what me and you talked about backstage about AI, or do you want me to hold off on that for now?
You can just you can bring it up in your conversation. Yeah, yeah, you can
Okay.
bring it up.
Okay. Now, to me, what makes AI good right now is it makes financing smarter. You have the AI assisting you with the finance, It's faster. It can automate everything from credit scoring all the way down to even fraud detection. I mean, it's got a lot of pluses, and you're getting feedback in real market time. So a person can jump in and make investments in real market time without there being no delay or anything that he could end
Right.
up missing. The negative, I mean, in the short term, it has great results. The negative is in the long term, it's going to create massive unemployment. Now, if you understand that the economy is based upon the movement of money, money is the core to every country's economy right now. If you lay off half the system, half, say, a third to half your workforce due to automation, and that would include not only labor jobs, but white collar jobs, because AI can do quite a bit at a much faster rate with more accuracy. Only problem is you don't have the oversight on it. But if you start cutting people, those people can no longer afford to make purchases in the economy. That slows money down to where it becomes stagnant. You got stagflation at that point. And if money's not moving and people are unemployed, is the government going to pick up some sort of money system to give to everyone that AI puts in the unemployment line? Some people are too old to go back to school and try to be re-educated in a system that AI is going into. And even then, you could go into it and find as soon as you come out, you're obsolete already because AI is going to be rapidly changing. So if you cut the workforce by a third to a half, people are not spending money. The municipalities, the cities, the government, the states are not meeting the budget requirements to fix the infrastructure, fix the roads, give employment to people, even the government jobs. If you're not bringing in tax dollars from all these people that are laid off and they're no longer employable, then you got to cut government positions. That job's not even going to be guaranteed no more. So in the long run, with money not moving and so many people being replaced by robotics and AI, it's going to lead to a financial collapse. Now, some people may want to argue that, but you can't replace everybody and not give a person a chance to earn an income. How is he going to support himself or support his family? It's not possible if you're unemployed. And if you're unemployed, you're sure not paying no taxes. So what's the government going to operate on? So,
Printing more money.
right,
Well, they won't have that option
right.
necessarily. Right.
So in the long run, it's going to lead to a financial collapse. How many years? I cannot predict that. But if they do it in stages, they lay off so many at a time. And then as people retire, they bring in more and more automation to replace those jobs. Uh, After a while, you just don't hardly need a workforce. I mean, McDonald's can be automated, Burger King can be automated. You just need enough people to keep an eye on the machinery to make sure if it breaks down, you got somebody to fix it and get it back online. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I know the CEOs, the government, everyone's runs their drills and things, and they have to see this as coming as an end result down the road. I mean, is that what Jerome Powell and the World Financial Council or whatever, is that what they meant when they said the day is coming where you will own nothing and you will be happy?
Well, it
Uh,
seems like AI and crypto kind of are going and coinciding together. Definitely. And real quick, I just want to thank Bree Rodriguez sending $20 over there on the PayPal. I very much appreciate that, saying with that respect emoji. So I really appreciate you dropping it like it's hot. Appreciate that.
and with China, Russia, and people of the BRICS saying, telling Trump, we're not coming after the dollar. There's nothing that we're doing that's coming after that. If you study how BRICS, AI, and crypto is going to come together, it is a slow motion dismantle of the US dollar dominance. And that's the bottom line. I mean, the crypto itself was to take away the dollar dominance by introducing a new currency to the world that they could go with. So I'm stopped there for right now.
So regarding this, with the whole thing with crypto, I mean, just real quick, on a general synopsis, what you think. I mean, it seems like this is kind of going quickly. I mean, not only do Americans have to worry about inflation with our own currency, but now a competition force from AI/crypto, or both, rather. It seems like it's not a good position to be in.
Yeah, with the AI, I'm gonna say this. Now, we've been talking about AI. Like AI has been the conversation for people for the past couple of years now, because it's been more dominant in what's going on with a lot of the tech stuff. You got Chat GPT, stuff like that that's been going on. It's been putting AI more into the forefront. Um, People using Chat GPT to write books and everything else with now. You get a
Right.
lot of information off of that stuff. Now, but when we first heard about AI, when did we first hear about AI? Like back years ago, like back when the first Terminator movies and all that came out. That's when we first heard about AI. And it was talking about, you had, what was it? What was it, Skylink, Starlink, or whatever it was, in that movie. That
It was like a conspiracy back then, you know what
right,
I
it was
mean? And
just this big,
now,
right. It was this big AI thing, and eventually it took over everything. And
quickly too.
once, right, and then once AI first started coming in, and now you had people who was talking about what it would get to the point that it was smarter and be able to put up stuff that you couldn't shut it down. And like if you let it run full force, that it would eventually take over everything. And then you had the episode dealing with Chat GPTs, where they had tried to shut it down, and it had put up blockers on its end to keep you from shutting it down.
Right.
And um, so you can see where, even by the weeks and months, the AI has grown to be far superior in a lot of different ways. And yeah, you do have the speed and the efficiency doing your financial transactions. You do. You have it has risk management. It has fraud detection. Um,
Accuracy is
Automated
better.
financial services. It got right. Um, and you can go through and you can do stuff lickety split with it. Yes, it does. Now, I remember a couple weeks ago when we was uh, talking about the manufacturing, and how they were talking about bringing manufacturing back here or whatever. And I said, well, they bring it back. Number one, it's going to take years to do. It would take
Right.
almost $4 trillion to bring manufacturing back and make it back the way it used to be. It would take over $4 trillion to do that. And a lot of these companies are not willing to bring manufacturing back here because they don't want to have to pay for the manpower to do it. So even if they did bring them back, a lot of them would use automated systems. Um, Amazon uses an automated system. They've been doing it for years. How do I know that? Because before I moved to Florida and I was a glazer, Amazon was one of the buildings that we put together, and it is fully automated. There's people there that run the computers, but everything in that building was fully automated. I mean, and there's tracks and trails all through that damn thing. Matter of fact, if Steve Stahl's on here, he knows exactly what I'm talking about because he was there too. It's it's fully automated. A lot of these factories, a lot of these warehouses and stuff like that, all that stuff is fully automated. So for every automated system that they put in, yeah, you laying off some people because you no longer need them. You don't have to worry about paying a salary. You don't got to worry about paying insurance and PTO time, vacation, and none of that. You just got to keep a couple of people around to make sure that the system stays online. And if anything happens, then they can fix it. So that's where, believe it or not, manufacturing, that's where it's going. I mean, it's going to go to the point that it's going to end up being fully automated. And
Mm-hmm.
those those jobs, those factory jobs, those warehouse jobs, and all that stuff is going to be gone. You know,
Got to get with the times. You know, I mean, when something like that evolves, you've got to like get ahead of the equation here and be like, okay, everything's going to go AI in my department here. Why don't I become really savvy with this AI and learn how to like fix it? For instance, when it breaks down or something like that, you have to be ahead of the game that way.
Right. Now, you know, you have somebody that's sitting in a room with a bunch of computers making up programs, whatever. They can make a program to do anything and everything that we can possibly do. You know what I mean? They can have a program that's fully functional. They can be HR. So you don't need people in HR. I mean, you just have, you know, a couple CNC machinists or whatever that's sitting in there that's gonna keep these machines running. Other than that, they don't need nobody else. You know what I mean? It can load them by itself, load them in the trucks. You just got somebody there to making sure that it's being loaded right. You know what I mean? So so when that happens, of course you're gonna lose those jobs. Where does those people go though? You know what I mean? Because now those people are now laid off. These are the same people that's gonna be over here claiming for these benefits over here, unemployment, SNAP, Social Security,
Sure.
all this other stuff. Now, when you cutting over here, but you cutting over here too, what does that leave? That leaves a whole lot of broke people.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them.
It's going to affect everyone to an extent, but there's definitely going to be a lot.
Right.
Super
when
broke.
You have that, what happens? When people get into situations that they know that, you know, it's a sink or swim situation, you in survival mode at this point. So what are you going to do? You're going to do anything and everything that you can do to make it by.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What happens?
Agreed.
People start robbing, people start stealing, people start going in these places taking stuff. Which what happens? Crime goes up. You know what I mean? These people aren't bad people, but they're hungry.
Right.
And they're broke.
Hungry people are the most dangerous. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I mean? Because there's a purpose there. You know what I mean? But what happens? These people end up going to jail for, you know, stealing bread,
sure,
meat, bologna, whatever. Why? Because they got to feed their families. Then what happens? These people, they got these houses. It's $300,000-$400,000 because they was working these nice jobs and they was getting paid $25, $30, $35 an hour. Now they unemployed and they only getting a fourth of that. So them houses was getting ready to go back. Then you got a housing problem. So it's like you got to think about when one thing happens, it trickles down to other things to go on. You know what I mean? So it's not just a simple fact of somebody just losing their job. You know what I mean? Because when they lose their job on this end, then it trickles down over here. Okay, now I can't pay my bills. So then I get my house up. I don't got food for the kids. So now I'm out here doing this.
Now let me go sell my car.
Right.
My only means of being able to work.
Right. Now you got people living in cars. But then they passed out laws now that you can't stay in your car. They got laws here in Florida that you can't be homeless. You can't be on the street, be homeless. You got to find your ass somewhere to go. The little tent cities that they have, they're doing away with all that stuff. Where does these people go? They don't just evaporate. Where do they go? You know what I mean? But when you steady tightening on this end and you don't got no relief on this end, you're gonna have those problems. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I want to add to what you just said, and I want people to think that just the lower class, say working class or middle class, is going to be impacted here. I mean, you got some of these big brokerage firms that are intermediaries. AI is going to replace them. I mean, AI can do all the algorithms and stuff and give you the best advice on where to invest your money and stuff. You won't even need those guys anymore. So a lot of these white collar people are going to be in the unemployment line with you. Don't think they won't be.
Right. Oh yeah. It's not gonna just be for just chosen people. There ain't no chosen people that's gonna this is universal. It ain't no chosen people. It's just gonna be out their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's not just factory jobs. Okay, like take this, for instance. Say you go to the barbershop every 2 weeks to get your hair cut, right? And you take your kids there. And you spending, let's say for you, say you spending $40, you spend another for till you got 2 kids, you go in there, you spend about $100 every 2 weeks on haircuts, right? Now you lose your job. Are you going to the barbershop every 2 weeks? Absolutely not.
Nope, we're grabbing my clippers in the bathroom.
You going right. So you're gonna be walking around, you and your kids gonna be walking around fucked up because daddy gonna learn how to cut hair.
Yep. Everyone's getting buzz cuts.
Or you're gonna pull that back a little bit. Like, okay, we're not gonna go every 2 weeks. We're gonna go every month. Then it's gonna go from once a month, month and a half, then 2 months, then not at all. You know what I mean? So those barbers that work in that shop there, they're gonna lose business. The people who bring the supplies to those barbers are gonna lose business because
it's definitely a chain effect.
Right, because they're not buying anything from them because they're not using anything. So it hits them. Then the suppliers, they go to the warehouse and buy their stuff. They don't have to go over and buy stuff that much now because ain't nobody buying, because ain't nobody cutting. So you see what I'm saying? It drops. So it may start over here, but it trickles down to everything else.
Yep. And there's certain hightail signs for stuff like that, right? Like, for instance, like things that we may consider a little extra or unnecessary to live just on a survival thing, because there's lots of things that we do, whether it be haircuts or going out to eat or whatever the case is. There's definitely hightail signs such as that, haircuts. It's definitely a start of the chain reaction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this question, Aaron. Why would you think, or how would you think that crypto has actually changed the way money is?
Well, like I said earlier, it challenges the government's authority to control currency. It's taking currency out of the hands of the government to be able to control it. It's given alternatives out there, and that was something that most nations, their currency was always controlled by the government. Now it gives people a choice of, do they want to be all invested in the dollar, or do they want to get into some of these alternative currencies? So if the dollar collapses, these alternative currencies could be around and could be making money. I mean, it's legitimizes even the, what do they call it, the central bank digital currencies. It's going to help bring that more about now once we get into this. So, and with AI out there, AI could totally run crypto. We don't need the government, the banks, or any of these people to do it anymore. AI can do it, and do it at breakneck speed, lightning speed. So that's what I would say right there.
Okay. So when you're dealing with that, then there's 3 things. Number 1, you got no banks, no borders, and no middleman.
Mm-hmm.
So what crypto basically did was just it turned money into a code that everyone can use or create. Don't make a difference. And and you're right, it does actually challenge the government monopoly over the currency. So, like for instance, like for the past 2 weeks, what have you heard? Everybody buy XRP. XRP gonna go to $1,000 a share. Then it went from $1,000 a share to $6,000 a share. Is what they said. Now, right now, you can buy XRP for about $3. But they're talking about it's supposed to be this big bull run. And when this bull run happens, XRP is gonna shoot to the ceiling. So now you got people doing what? They're gonna rush over and they're gonna buy XRP.
Yep, just like that's the human instinct.
Right. And it may, because a bunch of people jump over there and buy it real quick, it will bull run a little bit.
It will.
Now, will it hit possibly $50, maybe $100? Sure. Sure. But is it going to hit 1,000? Hell no. I don't see it hitting no 1,000. I don't see it hitting no 6. I don't see it. You know what I mean? That's just, it's like, remember back a year ago when GameStop, when they came in, it's like everybody buy GameStop. GameStop shot to the ceiling.
Yep.
You had GameStop, you made a shitload of money. You just watched it. Let it hit its peak. When it started to drop, sell it. You just made a bunch of money. Right? One day deal. Everybody that watched it and knew it was getting ready to go on made a killing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's what my dad did with Tesla during the election and all the way up until dude got out of office. I mean, he used that as just a great investment and he made money on that. I mean, that was a great investment for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can see when people just start rushing one way or the other, whether they're selling or they're buying.
Right. Now, like I said, do I see XRP jumping up as quick as Bitcoin did? Absolutely not. Even though they was talking about there for a while that they was gonna that the government was gonna branch in on XRP. That's what actually got them out of the sense, because before you could buy XRP for like less than 30 cents until they said that. Then it jumped up and got up above $1. Now it's sitting right at 3 something, somewhere around in there. Now I got some shares in it. You know what I mean? I got about 200, 300 shares in it that I've already had in it when I bought it for like 50 cents.
Right.
I just got it sitting there. Now, if it jump up, guess what?
Well, you sell and make money. That's what I'm guessing, but
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you are.
Because I didn't put myself into it's storming here, so it may bounce a little bit. But if it goes up, like I said, I made some. If it don't, I ain't worried about it, because I put it there for it to, slowly grow anyway. You know what I mean? I wasn't looking for no huge return off of it. Now, mind you, I'm gonna watch. And if I get a notification that says that it jumped up, I'm gonna sit right there and watch it and just let it go. And as soon as I see it dip, beat, sold. You know what I mean? I'm selling all that and I'm gonna cash in. But dealing with crypto though, that it's just like the stock market, basically.
Yeah.
You're gonna
but very
win
volatile.
some, right? You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. And crypto will drop quick. You'll go bankrupt quick on crypto if you ain't watching it. What was that one coin that was out? I think it was called Terra Luna. That's what it was. I had bought some of that a while ago. I had like 100,000 shares of it. Bought it super cheap. It jumped up one day. I didn't realize it jumped. I didn't get a notification, nothing. Bull run. Shot up way high. I mean, like people that had it made millions off of it. And then it just crashed. And it crashed so much that everybody that wasn't watching it lost everything. They ain't get nothing. You know what I mean? It completely crashed on a one-day deal. That's how volatile crypto is.
That's the scary thing about it, right? There's, at least with what we have now, we have a little bit of sense of security, a little bit. Even though there's nothing really actually backing it. But at least we have that. With crypto, you could have whatever coin and then the very next day it'd be literally worth nothing. That can't happen. Like how are you supposed to buy the majority of people's I guess approval to be able to go to that as a main source, whatever? How do you have stability? You have to have stability here, and I don't see stability at all with it. I only see a volatile environment. So do you think that they're going to end up changing that in crypto? Like, who's going to maybe back it? The government's going to sign back behind it? Like, what's going to happen here?
See, that was the big problem with crypto back when it first came out.
Right.
It's because there was no banks, no borders, no middlemen, no government.
Right.
Government couldn't control it. Now they're trying to put rules in place to where the government has some kind of control over it. You know what I mean? So that way, okay, say like people going on here and they making, if you make the right one and watch it every day, you're making a shitload of money off of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Government ain't on it. You know what I mean? That's your money. So you know anything that's been created that the government cannot put their hands in, they're gonna find a way to get their hands on it.
Look at TikTok, and that's not even a currency. That no matter what's going to happen, the government's going to have its hands on it, like one way or the other. And that's where I see like these cryptos, like how's that going to work? Is it going to be the blockchain that gets bought by the government or something, or is it going to be individual? Each one of these companies that have, like, for instance, Bitcoin or something like that. Like, will they have to give a seat to the government on their corporate board? Like, how's that even work?
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think what they'll do is that they would go after the companies that you can buy crypto from, like Coinbase,
That makes
crypto.com,
sense.
stuff like that.
So
Robinhood,
you get
they'll
them
go after
on the
them.
transaction.
Right. They'll go after them and then have them make their reports in to show, you know what I mean, who's bought what they got, so that you can be able to try to tax them for it. You know what I mean? So
Makes sense.
But they're gonna find a way to get their hands into it. You know what I mean? Just like when they was talking about the, you know, what was it, about a month ago, they was talking about the possibility of backing the dollar under Bitcoin.
Really?
I mean, yeah, that was a talk. I mean, that ain't what they did. I'm just saying,
Right, of course,
talk that
but
they was doing,
yeah,
which is totally
I'm not
fucking
surprised.
insane. Right, but it's totally insane.
It
Why would
is.
you back? You know what I mean? Why
Something
would you
that's
back
backed by nothing as well.
Right, right. So what happens when the lights go out? What happens when the lights go out? You lose that shit too.
Yeah,
you lose that shit too. It's gone. You know what I mean? So, and with the way this stuff is, and the way people been, you know, hacking and cyber attacks and this and all that, that's just a click of a button. It's gone.
True.
You know what I mean? It could easily happen. You know what I mean? So whoever it was that said that was a good idea, you smoking crack. Because you come
totally.
Because it definitely wouldn't work. Wouldn't work. Okay, Aaron, I got another question for you. Do you think that the CBDC will legitimize or kill crypto?
Well, right now I think it's gonna legitimize it because everything is going that direction right now.
Before you do, hold on. What does that stand for?
CBDC, central bank digital currencies.
Okay, cool.
That's the system that the Federal Reserve has made. China's made their own CBDC. Everybody's ready to bring this new digital currency in that's going to replace the paper money, to where we'll be working for computer credits instead of having dollars in our pockets, which gives them more control because they're going to know every single dime you make to be able to tax you on it. And it gives just too much control to the government. I say that with the cryptos, they can cut source alternatives and Bitcoin regulations a little bit. I mean, through deregulation, but the system's so new right now, there's not a lot of oversight controlling it. And like I said, the governments aren't controlling it. You got, if AI combines with it, they can automate the whole system, and everything from your taxes down to loans will be ran by it. I mean, the whole system is pushing toward it. I mean, if you believe in what they talk about, the book of Revelations in the Bible, where we'll be going to a cashless system, this is like the outer edge of it right here. And people are seeing this and they're still okay with it, or else they don't want to know about it because they're so busy with their own lives They're not paying attention to what's getting ready to be put in place. I mean, pretty soon your cash money will be worthless, and you'll have to turn it in order to get digital credits. So I say right now, it's going to legitimize the CBDCs more. Um, there could be a negative side to that, but right now, knowing that everything is going that way, yeah, it's going to legitimize it even more.
So, I'm going to say both. I'm going to say both. And because you got to think, the CBDCs make digital money mainstream, but they're also centralized.
Right.
Now, and I think that they may coexist with crypto for a little while, or try to crowd it out a little bit. Because of because you got like source alternatives, but then you also through regulation, where crypto doesn't have regulation, CBDC does. Because they want, like I said, CBDCs is also ran by the government, and they want to know the who, what, when, where, why when it's dealing with your money. You know what I mean? Which I think is total bullshit.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have governmental seats there.
Right. I mean, I think that's total bullshit, because if I go out and work every day and I make my check, it ain't your business what I spend my money on. You know what I mean? I can spend my money on a light bill. I can spend my money on a rent. I can spend my dollars at the strip club helping little 19, 21-year-old girls pay for their fucking school books. It ain't your business. That's my business, true. What I do with my money. You know what I mean? And especially for you to sit there, even after you know what it is I done spent my money for, you can actually go in during a transaction and say, oh, you don't need that. He could take that off.
Totally.
You bought too many jugs of water. You got to put 2 back.
See, I think of exactly that with Venmo. I've been thinking of that. You know, people sit there and tell each other what the transactions are for. You're telling the world and the government what you're bringing in and out of your damn home.
Right. I mean, so even with like Venmo, Cash App, all of them, you giving them permission to go to your account and pull shit out. So do you think they can't go in there and let somebody else know what you got in that account? Sure they can. You just gave them permission. When you go through Plaid and give them the authorization to go into your account, that's exactly what they can do. They can go in there and figure out everything that you got in there anyway. You know what I mean? The digital age is here. We use it because it's conventional. It's easy to use. It's quick. You know what I mean? Like you can put your credit card on your phone and just tap, boop. You know what I mean? But now they making stuff now that thieves can use that can go up to you if you got that tap and walk up beside you and get all your information.
Just in their pocket. Yeah, and they just rub up against you or their phone or whatever and boop, scan that shit.
So anything that you use, there's a counter for it.
Yep.
Okay. And you got a lot of people now that say, you know what? I don't carry cash with me. I always use my card. So they've been slowly throughout the years getting you to a cashless system anyway, whether you realize it or not.
That's very true. And that's something that I've always made sure of in my wallet. I've always tried to make sure that I have at least something in the wallet paper-wise. You know what I mean? I don't carry a lot, but I always got something there. I've always been that way. But they do work on people and rely on people not to have cash at all. They almost demonize it.
Right. I mean, like in some countries right now, you can't use cash.
True.
Everything is digital. You know what I mean? So it's slowly coming here. It happens in these other countries, and most of the time we don't even think about it because it ain't happening here. And just how most people think, well, it ain't happening to me, so I don't give a shit until it does happen to you.
Right.
Go ahead.
Just like right now, I mean, in my area, if you go into a hospital cafeteria, they won't accept cash. You have to have a credit card to get in and out of the parking lots. They're not taking cash. You got to have a credit card. A lot of vending machines in my area right now will not take cash. You have to have a credit card. I mean, they're slowly moving away from cash totally. There's stores I know that won't take cash. They only want to deal with credit or some form of pay like Cash App or something. They don't want the cash. And then we already know about the God, it's the gold backs. I mean, that's totally been created because some of the states don't trust the Federal Reserve money anymore of cash. They're creating their own currency. So I
Right.
mean, the handwriting's on the wall. The U.S. dollar is going to eventually go out.
See these
It's
little
just
There's your
shiny
gold
things
back right
right
there. Yes, sir.
there?
Show it off, bro. Hell yeah.
That's a gold back.
That's right.
Mhm.
Man, those are pretty.
Yeah, they are. They are pretty. Like I said, shit. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I've been I've been grabbing them.
That's
I've been
smart,
grabbing.
man.
Man, I'm
I
telling you.
should be doing a lot of
Look at
that.
this shit. I've been
But yeah, hell
grabbing these
yeah.
bitches here.
That's what's
You
up
know
right
what I
there.
mean? I've been grabbing them.
You gotta start
That,
putting up your arm and shit. Yeah,
right.
that's awesome.
That, silver, gold, all of it. You know what I mean? Look, been grabbing all of it. All of it.
Is that
I
silver?
get- yeah.
Yeah.
These is silver bullion. Yeah. I've been grabbing everything I get my hands on. I've been grabbing it.
Man, I should be
Telling
doing a
you.
lot more of that.
I tell you, because it's coming. Whether we want it to or not, it's coming.
So is that the best way to, like, overall, is that kind of the best way to, no matter what happens, whether it goes BRICS, whether it goes AI, whether it goes crypto, at least you have kind of one thing that you can exchange and get in the middle between what we're at right now. And so when anything does change, you have that currency right there, which can be used endlessly.
Well, you can. Well, yeah, you can use that, but you need, like I said, how we've been talking about this for a while. You need to have your hands on physical gold, physical silver, stuff like
Right,
that.
but if it goes
Now-
all, if it goes all, for instance, BRICS, well, now at least you have a way to exchange the money that you did have to now that currency if you need to on a survival level.
You can use that. I mean, like, there's been, what we've been looking at, man. A lot of these corporations, they've been buying millions of metric tons of gold and silver and stuff like that. Here in Florida, you get the American Eagle thing. Yep, sure did. I got 3 of them. Sure did.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's some next level shit that I have no idea about. How it could even raise flags like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, here in Florida, you are allowed to pay bills with gold and silver.
Yep. You guys are the first big state to really do it.
Right. And see, in Florida also makes gold backs. So it's moving into that direction. Now, let's talk about BRICS, okay? Because BRICS is a part of what you're talking about right now, dealing with the gold and silver. So BRICS is supposedly brings this geopolitical motivation that builds like an independent financial system outside the U.S. dollar. So basically, what they're trying to do is dismantle the dollar system.
Right. It's anti-American.
Right. They're trying to softly dismantle the dollar system.
Totally.
So they already trade oil, commodities with BRICS already. Now they just had a summit, what was it, 2 weeks ago, where they just brought in, what was it, Indonesia's in it now as a full member, but you have the UAE that's trying to come into them. They've invited Mexico. Mexico showed up there.
They did? I didn't know that.
Yep, they showed up. They were
Of course
invited,
they did.
and they showed up.
Backstabbers.
But their big thing that they're doing is they're trying to figure out ways to go around the U.S. dollar. to where they do not have to use the dollar. So even if you pop up sanctions and all that, it'll go right around them, just like it did with Russia when they first put those sanctions on them, thinking that it was, during the Biden administration, where they thought it was just gonna close them off. No, it wasn't gonna close you off, because I don't gotta buy shit from you. I can buy it from China.
Well, that was a really smart
I can get it
move.
from North Korea.
Right.
And they still made their money.
It was their way around that sanction.
They still made money. Right. So they can get around those sanctions. So what they're doing is basically saying, okay, long story short, we being bullied. Let's work together here, and we can trade amongst ourselves, and we don't even need them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we going to completely get rid of the dollar? No. But you can shrink it down to the point that it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like China just gave Africa where they can trade anything for free.
Damn.
As long as they trade with them.
Wow. I mean, that's a good way to get them to come on over.
Right.
I mean, if
Exactly.
you got a tariff or sanctions on these countries, they're like, well, we can do this and save all this cash and still make the trade and make a profit. Yeah, of course you're going to go that route.
Right. So
Damn.
if you add AI, which is a instant across the board and across the border payments, along with AI, that's like, that weakens the dollar.
Yeah, it's scary.
And takes away that grip, that global dominance grip, completely takes that away.
Yeah.
If that all comes into fruition. Now, like you said, you hear on her all the time where they say, no, that's not what we're trying to do, Bob. That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything that you're doing along with this shows clearly what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we've been talking about this for well over a year now, how they've been trying to decentralize this dollar. They've been trying to get it to drop. You know what I mean? And it has dropped. What's it sitting at now, Aaron? What, about 65 cents?
Yeah,
per dollar, something around there?
60 cents in value.
Right. So it's dropping slowly. You know, you have these countries and the reason why BRICS is so important is because every BRICS dollar is financed by gold and or silver. So that's why these countries is doing that. They're also going to these other countries that own money, and they're like, okay, we need our money back, but you need to pay us back in gold.
Yeah.
They stockpile it.
Yeah. It's scary when other countries start buying a fuck ton of it too. Like, and that's what's happening. And when you see that shit, that's scary.
Right. And if you put the pressure on too much, then these other countries, they're going to side with them. Now they holding out. Now you got a lot of them that's actually holding out because they're loyal to the U.S. and they've been loyal to the U.S. for ages, and they holding out. But if
everything's got a price,
right?
Everything's
got a price. Comes to shove, and you keep throwing out, tariff after tariff after tariff, all this other shit. Guess what? Motherfuckers ain't gonna be loyal to you when you keep smacking them in the face.
True.
They're gonna turn on you. You know what I mean? Now anybody that's walking this earth knows that it's only very little that you got to do for somebody to turn on you. You know what I mean? Now, when you start going against my money, and then even a lot of these officials, a lot of these presidents and stuff in these other countries, they shit. But what are they doing now? Now they blaming everything that goes on with them. What they do? Oh, it's the U.S. fault now. You know what I mean? So they look like they cool. They blame everything on us now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This can easily happen. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, if people don't know this or not, but BRICS has something called BRICS Pay now, which makes me think of Apple Pay or something of that nature. But it's a cross-border currency that they're using among themselves to be able to trade back and forth with one another, and they're accepting each other's currency. It is backed by gold, silver, and oil, but this is again a run around the American dollar to where they don't have to use it. And that devalues our money even more as a world currency. And some people may not realize it, but the world is now split into two zones. You heard Biden say that we could have two world currencies, where I always disagreed with that, but it's happening right now. One group is with BRICS, and they've got their currency, and then the other block is tied to the American dollar, and they've got their own currency. So there's a rivalry. And we've talked on this show before that there's a three-phase step. You start off with currency wars, then you go to trade wars, and then you get into a real live fire and kinetic war. Right now, we are seeing a currency war and we're seeing trade wars in operation, but we're watching all these nations moving military assets into place because one way or the other, there ain't going to be two people sharing the king of the hill. There's only one king of the hill. And if it escalates, they're going to be in position with their military assets to do whatever they got to do to bring the other one down. So
exactly. Exactly. Because you got BRICS on one end, you got SWIFT on the other.
Right.
So I figure a question that you would ask yourself is like what would happen if AI, crypto, and BRICS merge together? So you would get a totally new global financial system if that happened. Decentralized, intelligent, and geopolitically independent. It would bypass any Western institution entirely if them three came together. Now, could they replace institutions like SWIFT or the IMF? Yeah, especially these BRIC nations, because the crypto rails and AI-driven platforms could offer a faster, cheaper, politically neutralized alternative.
And
that they
convenient.
Right, they could easily do that. Now, like Aaron said, are we heading to a multiple global currency? Absolutely. You know what I mean? And the future may be multi-currency or multi-system. Whether it's the dollar, the yen, crypto, CBDC, they all coexist, but they all have different rules. They all have different allies. So it can easily happen. Now, so I'm gonna ask this question for both of you. Own opinion. What do you think money's gonna look like in the next 10 years?
Oh man.
Well,
And do you okay, let me make it better. I'll make it a two-part. What do you think money's gonna look like in the next 10 years? And do you think cash will still exist?
In 10 years, I'm gonna honestly say yes. I think it's still gonna exist in 10 years, but I know that's contrary to probably popular belief at this point because everything is just so quick. But I do see this happening within easily my lifetime, that there's going to be this major shift. It's going to happen eventually. So it's going to be hard, man. But until then, cash is still king.
What you got, Aaron?
Well, I would say Mike's right. I can see where, and I don't have one. I don't have a digital wallet. I've been kind of avoiding the cryptos for right now, but
Same.
I could see where people are going to all have digital wallets, and it's all going to be digital currency. I don't see any other way around it. I mean, you look at the banks right now; they're supposed to keep $200,000 in cash on hand, and the majority of the banks are not keeping that kind of funding on hand. In fact, there's only, I think, 40% of the so-called money that's out there that's in paper currency now. Everything is digitized.
Yeah, those major banks usually only have like 50,000 in the bank. That's it. Just sitting there. And every time you go to pull out some decent sized money, oh, trust me, you'll be met with like so much resistance that you're made to feel like a criminal pulling out your own damn money. It's fucking crazy.
Right. Now, I do think I do think cash will still exist. I think it would be more in like people would have in store for like emergency situations, and having money held back to keep it out of the digital system. I do think people will still have cash, but I think that most money by default would be digital and just using the cash as like
I
a
agree
reserve.
with that for sure.
But I mean, don't
shit,
think
we're there now.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You're already there.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're already there. You know what I mean? I see that at work all the time. It'd be 1 week, everybody using credit cards.
Absolutely.
And then the next week, everybody paying cash. So you know when everybody getting paid. You know when they getting paid because then they use cash. And then the next week, it's credit cards. Next week's cash. Next week's credit cards. But then it's going to, like I said, it's going to get to the point that it's going to end up being, it's going to be mostly digital. And that's what they've been putting down for years now. You know what I mean? And we may try to fight it, you know, just like we was talking about before with the CBDC. You brought that out right now and said, okay, we're about to shut off this currency and we're going to run strictly on the CBDC banking system. Everybody would say, fuck no. Why? Because they know what that entails. That means it's government ran and everybody's going to be able to know the who, what, when, where, why when it comes to your money that they don't want to do. But if you crash this dollar to the point that this dollar doesn't mean nothing, to the point that it's not valued and it's actually ain't even worth the paper that it's printed on, and then I bring out a CBDC, you beg me for this because it gets you out of what you're going through right now. Mm-hmm. That's how all this stuff goes on. You know what I mean? And it's exactly what's going to end up going on now. So the best advice to be, you know what I mean, is to, number one, don't just depend on a dollar. Back that dollar up with something. Yeah. Don't go in and buy gold stocks. Buy gold.
Yeah, okay. Physical.
I mean, yeah, buy physical gold. I mean, take this for example. So, okay, so this actual gold back here, right?
Oops, wrong one. There we go.
This actual gold back here, this dollar one, okay? Now you can buy it right now for right around $6.85, $7. When it first came out, you could buy it for like $4.
No, it's $2. $2.
Yeah, that's right. That's
$2.
Right. When it first came out, it was $2. Now they're up to almost $7 because it's made out of, you have so much gold made into each one.
Right.
So the higher the denomination, the more gold is actually in the gold bag. Now,
damn, I didn't know it started at $2.
So you can get
that's crazy
denomination. Hell, you even have this is a 50-cent gold back.
Wait, 50 cent?
Yes, sir. 50 cent. There you go.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that they made.
See the half?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's dope as hell.
Gold back. Now, you getting that for like its value right now between $6.50, $7. You first could get it for $2. So the gold prices is going up. These gold backs go up too. Right now they're fairly inexpensive, so you can go get them, depending on the denomination. So you got 1s, 5s, 10s, 50s, 100s. You get $100 gold back. $100 gold back is going to run you almost $800.
Damn.
For $100 gold back.
Hell yeah.
$50 gold backs run you right around.
Sounds pretty pimping to have though.
600, something like that. But that tells you though the value of these, because the higher the denomination, the more gold it's in it. Gold prices go up, gold backs go up.
Well, that's the definition of being backed by gold. You know what I mean? That's
exactly. So get your hands on something that you can physically hold, that you have, that you can, you know what I mean? Because eventually what's going to happen, gold price is going to shoot to the ceiling. Silver going to run right behind it. Now, is silver going to get as high as gold? No, but it will get higher. So right now, let me see, silver was running like 38, in like 38, 39, somewhere around in there. The other day it was over 40. Now it's running like 38, 39. But 2-3 months ago, it was like $20. So
Damn.
it's steady climbing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But ain't nobody really paying attention. The
Right.
ones who are paying
No kidding.
attention is going to get the shit now while they can get it before it gets too high and you can't afford it. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying go and take
Drop
all
your
your money
entire-
and just buy all this. No.
Right.
Just go a little bit at a time and get this stuff. Get it now while it's cheaper and you can afford it.
Yeah, I need to
Hold
start
it.
doing that.
Hold it, because I guarantee you, you're going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need it. So,
Real quick before you end it, that was such a good, overall consensus of this entire topic. Real quick, Papa Penguin sends in 5, says, for our new banking overlords. That's funny, man. Yeah, appreciate you making it rain on us. That's right. Appreciate you. Man.
Yeah,
this shit's scary, though.
It is. It is. You know what I mean? And one of the things that you got to remember, the closing thing that I'm going to say is the dollar isn't gone. The dollar isn't gone, but it's no longer alone. Okay. AI isn't just tech anymore. It's a new banker, it's a new auditor, it's a new broker. And crypto isn't dead, it's becoming infrastructure. So whether you're ready or not, the money game is about to be rewritten. The question is, will you adapt, resist, or profit from the shift? So those are the only 3 choices you have.
Man, that's a good way to put it, too.
So, like I said, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Hit the like button on both Mike's and Diamond Effect page. We can get it out on a proper algorithm. Send a link to a friend. Let them check it out. I mean, knowledge is power. So the more stuff that we put out here, this ain't stuff that we cooked up. This is fact. You know what I mean? And everybody needs to get their ears on this and be able to be proactive and do what they need to do to protect themselves and their family. So, like I said, I thank everybody for coming out as always. Love you guys. I'll see you in 7 days. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by saying money is power, and the best thing you could do right now. And I'm gonna mention something that I learned. It's a military saying: 2 is 1, 1 is none. 2 of anything is better than just 1 of something, because if it breaks down, it becomes spare parts to keep the other one running. In this instance, reason why 2 is 1 and 1 is none is if you're taking money and investing it in precious metals is, I call it God's money. It's been around since the days of Egypt up till now. And currently the world nation still trades in precious metals. So if you keep that in mind, and if you have some sort of marketable skills to back up the current job you have in case you lose it, like I'm a gun show vendor. So if I had lost my job, I had that market to fall back on. And then I have my precious metals that I can also supplement with. Or if you can invest in dividend paying stocks, that's going to send you a check every month. And maybe that can help supplement other skills that you have to go out. I mean, when I was young and my grandmother used to babysit me, my grandmother cleaned people's houses for a living, went into their homes, swept them, mopped them, cleaned them. Very humble woman, but she had a hard work ethic. And even though she didn't have a lot of education, she kept food on the table for her family of 12. And later in life, she was able to do well for herself, and she did it by cleaning people's homes. I mean, if you cut grass, if you got mechanical skills, you're a plumber, you're an electrician, any knowledge that you can pick up will only benefit and keep you in the workforce when AI comes in and starts taking over. Remember, 2 is 1, 1 is none. I'll stop there.
Man, listen, with I think there's always should be a takeaway on every show, and there always is. And one of them, for sure, on this one is legitimately me going out and buying some gold and silver. You know, I need to get more proactive on that. Definitely something I've been slacking on because there's a lot of uncertainty with this, right? And so you got to be able to set yourself up, just like Aaron was saying, as well as AB. Both of them, you know, it's all about, you know, being in the worst moment. You got to be prepared somehow, right? And I think that's the best thing is bringing awareness to the situation on this. Real quick, Bree Rodriguez sending in a 20 spot, by the way, saying keep doing your thing. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you for making it rain on us. For real, man. You've been very, very generous. I very much appreciate you and your contributions to the channel. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here in 7 days. Always appreciate you guys hitting that like button on the way in and out. Always appreciate that on both sides. And with that being said, we'll see you guys very soon. Much love and respect, everybody.